Hi, Karen with you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I have a share for ScrapFX Australia today, creating a journal page. This month's tasks were to actually use some of our favourite pieces. So today I'm going to use some rice paper, some chipboard, some stenciling, and I'm also going to throw in some stamps at some point as well. I'm doing a page for my journal, sort of semi-journal album for myself this year that I've decided to do, which is an all about me album, which is extremely odd for me. I don't often scrap myself, but I've really made a decision this year to focus on a little bit about me and my creative journey this year as well. So I started off with the rice paper, that blue Mandela rice paper. It's so pretty and subtle as well. I glued that down on a piece of cardstock with gel medium, then cut out the heart from the pink Sweetheart rice paper as well, rice collage paper. It is so delightful to use, I have to say. So I decided to go quite pink and pastel-y and a little bit pale for this layout. I often do a lot of very bright layouts, or sometimes they can be quite dark. So I decided this week would be a little bit more lighter as I went through. So once I'd stuck everything down, I pulled out that zebra stamp there with the circles and stripes. Oh, that is absolutely one of my favourite stamps. I randomly stamped around that page, and when I say random, I did not think about it at all. I did it in a couple of different colours of distressed oxides as well. Then I grabbed out some rice paper was sitting within my little stash, which was I'm pretty sure was from Queen of Hustle rice paper, which was designed by Roz. So I stuck that down with some gel medium as well and dried with my little handy dryer there. I was getting a little impatient. I had waited most of the time for everything to dry, but I really wanted to push on and get this done. I added some splatters, including some pink, a little bit of purple, and also some white splatters across the page. Just needed to hold down my little area there. It was starting to curl up quite a bit, and that's really because I used the heat gun tool on the page. I had debated whether I was going to use a photo or not on this particular one, because some of the sayings from that Queen of Hustle were really great, but I decided I'd just make them in the background. And so I pulled out a selfie of myself. That sounds funny when I say that. I just pulled out a selfie and decided that for a bit of added texture, I'd added in some muslin that I had sitting in my stash, and I really wanted to use that piece of chipboard, which was called the statement is own your own talent. Well, I have to say it's not something I would normally say about myself, but again, this year I'm really wanting to try and work on my creative style and broaden. So that's why I decided I'm going to own it. That's basically what that was all about. I added in the frond chipboards as well. I just lightly coated those with some distress oxides and I did cut off the stems for those particular pieces and just clustered a couple around the photo there. I decided to leave the chipboard raw because I wanted it to be subtle, and I still think it looks subtle on the page by leaving it raw. I then did some painting around the edges in white with a white pen, and also edged around with my pink distress oxide as well. Off camera, you will see I've got some close-ups in a minute and a little bit of a sped up version. Off camera, I sat here for a couple of days when it was actually sitting on my desk, and I really, as much as it was I actually quite liked it, I still felt there was something missing. So I did go in and off camera add in some sequins, and I also added in some extra paint pens around the heart and around the sayings that I pulled out from rice paper. And it actually says, everything in life that matters requires risk. So I do apologise, I did add that off camera. I also added quite a number of mark makes as well, in gold, white, and a little bit of black, and spots around the layer as well. So I hope you enjoyed what I've put together today. I've got a few slides of some close-up photos. There's the final outcome. I really want to thank you so much for joining me today. I will leave in the comments below the links to the blog post, where you'll find links to all the products at ScrapFX, and where you can find your local stockists as well to be able to purchase these, or talk to your stockists about purchasing them and getting them in for you. So thanks so much, I really appreciate it. And if you've liked what you've seen today, please, I'd love it if you'd hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks so much.